In the heart of Ekin land, the drums of victory never ceased to echo the name Ajanaku, the greatest warrior of his generation. His broad chest bore the scars of countless battles, each mark a tale of survival and strength. Children sang his praises as he walked through the market, his leopard skin cloak fluttering in the breeze. The elders poured libations in his honor, for Ajanaku had defended Ekin land from invaders, monsters, and dark spirits alike. Yet even in glory, his heart carried a deep longing. "Father," he once said to the chief priest, "I have conquered men, but I have not conquered loneliness." The old man, with cowries hanging from his neck, warned softly, "Be careful what you seek, my son. Not every beauty walks under the sun of peace." But Ajanaku laughed, his voice like thunder over the hills. "No spirit can conquer me. I will find my queen." One moonlit night, while bathing by the river Odo, Ajanaku saw her, a woman of dazzling beauty, her skin smooth like moonlight on calm water. She hummed a song that made the wind stand still. Her name was Adan, and when she turned her gaze upon him, his warrior's heart faltered. "Who are you, maiden of the river?" Ajanaku asked, stepping closer. She smiled faintly, the ripples of water glowing around her feet. "I am but a traveler," she replied, her voice like a flute. The next morning, he brought her home to the astonishment of all. "Our warrior has found a bride," the people rejoiced. But the oldest woman in the village whispered, "No woman with eyes that shine like that belongs wholly to this world." The wedding of Ajanaku and Adan became the talk of the land. Drums roared, and dancers with painted faces leapt around the fire. Adan moved with elegance no mortal woman could match, her anklets jingling in strange rhythm. The priest blessed the union, yet his hands trembled as he poured palm wine on the ground. That night, as the new couple retired, a sudden cold swept through the warrior's hut. Ajanaku awoke and found Adan sitting by the window, whispering to the darkness. "Who do you speak to, my love?" he asked. She turned, her eyes glinting like wet stones. "To the night that raised me," she said softly. Ajanaku laughed uneasily, unaware that his fate had already begun to unravel. Days turned to weeks, and strange things began to happen. The river near the village overflowed, killing the crops by its banks. Warriors who went to fetch water claimed they saw Adan's reflection even when she was not there. Old women began to mutter, "The river spirits are angry." When Ajanaku confronted his wife, she smiled. "Husband, do not listen to their foolishness. Fear makes mortals see ghosts." But one night, his friend Bamadil, a fellow warrior, said to him by the fire, "Brother, your wife walks by the river at midnight. Alone. I saw her vanish into the mist." Ajanaku gripped his sword and said, "If my wife walks with spirits, then I will see it with my own eyes." That night, he followed her quietly. The moon was red, and the air smelled of wet clay. Adan walked gracefully to the riverbank and began to sing. From beneath the water rose shadows, figures with glowing eyes, bowing before her. "Our queen," they hissed. "You have fulfilled the oath." Ajanaku gasped, his breath trembling. But before he could speak, Adan turned to him, her form shifting, her legs turning to shimmering mist. "You should not have come," she said sadly. "Now the pact is broken." Lightning cracked across the sky, and the river roared like an angry beast. Ajanaku fled, heart pounding, unsure whether the woman he loved was still human. The next morning, Ajanaku's strength failed him for the first time in his life. He tried to lift his spear, but it felt as heavy as a mountain. His warriors looked on in disbelief. "The mighty Ajanaku cannot hold a blade," they murmured. Shame burned in his chest. When he returned home, Adan greeted him with cold tenderness. "You broke the bond of trust," she whispered, touching his cheek. "The strength you boast of was never yours alone." Then she vanished before his eyes, leaving behind only a puddle of clear water that hissed into the earth. That day, the drums of victory fell silent in Ekin land. Ajanaku went from shrine to shrine, seeking help. The Babalawos, diviners, shook their cowries, and all spoke the same message: you married the daughter of the river. Until the waters forgive you, your strength will rot away. He fell to his knees in front of the chief priest. Tell me what to do. I will sacrifice anything. The priest's eyes were dim with pity. The waters demand a heavy price. You must return what you took, love, for love. Ajanaku clenched his fists. Then I will find her again. Even if I must walk into the river of spirits. Carrying nothing but his broken sword, Ajanaku traveled for days until he reached the sacred river. The air shimmered with unseen eyes. Adan, he shouted into the mist. Show yourself. His voice echoed through the valley. Slowly, she emerged, clothed in flowing water, her face filled with sorrow. You should have stayed away, she murmured. My world and yours cannot share peace. But Ajanaku fell to his knees. Then take my life, but restore my honor. Adan wept, each tear falling as a droplet of light. There is a way, she said. But the path will cost you everything you hold dear. Adan led him beneath the river into a glowing realm of spirits. The walls shimmered like blue glass, and fish with human faces whispered secrets. The River King, a giant made of flowing currents, rose from his throne. Ajanaku of Ekan land, he boomed, you touched what was forbidden. I seek forgiveness, Ajanaku declared, bowing. The River King's eyes glowed. Then bring me the heart of the two-faced serpent that dwells beyond the Black Falls. Only then shall your shame be cleansed. Adan touched his arm one last time. Do not fail, my love. Or you will never return. Through forests older than memory, Ajanaku journeyed. The ground was soft with the footprints of ancient beasts. When he reached the Black Falls, mist hid the sky. There, the serpent appeared, massive, with one face of beauty and another of horror. It hissed, you come for what you do not understand, mortal. The battle was fierce. Though weakened, Ajanaku fought with cunning, striking when the beast turned its second head. With one final roar, he drove his blade through its heart. As the serpent died, its blood turned into silver water, and the land trembled. Ajanaku collected its heart and whispered, for my people. For my name. When Ajanaku returned to the river, Adan awaited him with tears in her eyes. You have done the impossible, she said softly. The River King accepted the serpent's heart, and the waters turned calm again. Your strength is restored, thundered the king. But your bond to the river is sealed forever. Adan touched Ajanaku's face. You will live, but our love cannot. I belong here now. She kissed him, her lips cool as rain. Then she dissolved into water, flowing back into the river. The warrior wept, his tears joining hers. When Ajanaku returned, the people cheered, but the joy in his heart was gone. His power returned, yet his laughter had vanished. He led the warriors again, but his eyes often drifted to the horizon where the river lay. Children noticed he never removed the blue bead Adan had left on his wrist. One evening, his friend Bamadil asked, why do you stare at the water each dusk? Ajanaku smiled faintly. Because somewhere beneath it, a woman I loved still sings. That night, he dreamed of her voice, soft, endless, and sorrowful. Years passed, and Ekan land faced drought. The river shrank, exposing dry bones and secrets. Then came illness, crops failed, and children cried from hunger. The priests declared, the river demands the warrior's life. Panic spread. The elders came to Ajanaku. You must go to the water once more. He bowed his head. If my death will bring peace, then let the waters take me. He removed his armor and walked barefoot to the riverbank. The same song Adan once sang echoed through the wind. He smiled. Adan, I am coming home. At sunrise, Ajanaku entered the river slowly, his reflection merging with the waves. The villagers watched in silence, their hearts heavy. As the water reached his shoulders, the river shimmered, and for a brief moment, they saw two figures holding hands beneath the surface. Then the river calmed. The drought ended, and rain fell for 7 days. The elders said, "Ajanaku has joined the river bride. His sacrifice saved us." The people built a shrine at the riverbank, where lovers now bring offerings every full moon. Generations later, storytellers still sing of Ajanaku and Adan, the warrior and the river woman whose love defied the gods. It is said that on quiet nights, if one listens closely by the river Odo, they can hear the faint sound of laughter and the beating of distant drums beneath the waves. And so, the legend of the warrior's downfall became a tale of love beyond shame, courage beyond reason, and redemption born from sorrow. In Ekan land, mothers tell their children, "Never mock the power of the unseen, for even the bravest heart can drown in love."